Okay, so yeah, my name's Tim Burney from Dawn Architecture, and I'm here to present Murrin, which is a First Nations business, retail and arts hub located in Geelong on Wadawurrung country for the client Narramilli. First, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging for both the Wurundjeri land that we're currently on and also the Wadawurrung country on which this project is based. So Narramilli, the client, they're a not-for-profit organisation founded in 2018. And the name means to dance in Wadawurrung. Essentially, their purpose or mission is to nurture and facilitate business opportunities for First Nations people across Australia. First Nations people have been successful in economics within Australia for over 80,000 years through trading, agriculture, ceremony and other actions, and yet barriers still exist for their business success, including access to education and training, things like racism, discrimination, health and well-being and whatnot and other factors. Narramilli came to me with this idea for a multi-purpose First Nations hub in Geelong, this idea of a circular economy. So their idea was to train and mentor people on site. Those businesses would then inject or put their products and sell them in a retail store. Their services would be used back through the training of other businesses. There's an art gallery platform for First Nations artists. There's a cafe for employing First Nations people, and there are co-working areas and meeting areas for leasing out, which then injects revenue back into the business. The site's located in the centre of Geelong on Mallop Street. It's Wadawurrung country, close to the train station, close to the waterfront, Botanical Gardens, Deakin, so it's super connected. The site itself, it's a rectangular single ground level building on Mallop Street, and lucky for us, they're actually undertaking a green spine development across the street at the moment, which has been disruptive, but it's going to be great once it's done. It was previously a bike shop in a past life. It was a little bit in disrepair, and we fought with Westfield to actually keep parts of it, but they wouldn't let us, so they handed it over like this. Essentially, it's a single level with a 220mm high step up, about 2/3 of the way through. But there's great street frontage, about 50 metres of street frontage, access to the street. Officeworks is right across the road, so it's good for stationery supplies. And essentially the design was done in consultation with First Nations Advisory Group. And me being non-Aboriginal, it was the result of lots of listening, workshopping ideas, and that sort of happened over a few months. And the light bulb moment came when we had this idea for a sort of a circular point of sale and a circular meeting room at the other end of the building. And Cormac, who was the CEO of Narramilli at the time, did this sketch that you can see on the top right, which is a series of circles. We literally connected the dots and then these wavy lines between, and these symbolise spaces for gathering, for activity, and then the journey between, or the water and the flow between. And there were a bunch of others. The builder was fantastic. Chris Connell had some role to play with material selection and colours and lighting and just being a general mentor in parts. And here's the floor plan here, divided into two spaces, a public zone and a more business zone. So in the public zone, we've got the cafe, the art gallery, and the retail area, and then there's a screen which divides the business zone, which is the co-working areas and meeting rooms. And here's the floor plan. So it's a fairly open floor plan. All the services are pushed to the back. And we have portable art walls. We've got movable furniture, and we've got an operable wall, which allows the space to be sort of rearranged for different events. Here's an isometric, just showing connection to the streetscape with that sort of 50 metres of glass and the connection of spaces. And just some zoomed in plans and elevations of the different zones. So on your left here is the main entry, which is closest to the activity centre of Westfield. So we essentially get people in through the gift shop and they kind of exit through the gift shop. So you come in for a coffee, you come in and check out the retail items, you look at the artwork, you can get a coffee, or you continue through and do some work or attend a conference or whatnot. And this is the more meeting focused areas with the co-working desks and conference rooms. And here's a picture of the space. So we went for a pretty restrained material palette and colours. We wanted the space to embody excellence. And so material selections, colours, detailing, that was the plan the whole way through. And I think when you go there, hopefully people can visit. It really feels like a special space. Just some details here of the screen, of the round room, which is to the end, which is a meeting room. essentially it references the scar tree, which is a significant tree on Wadawurrung country, but I guess architecturally it's two semicircles of different sizes which have been connected and then rotated at 15 degrees, which gives that sort of access and opening to the space. And just some construction photos. So we put down a 70mm screed on the floor. The floor was in fair state of disrepair, but it let us hide surfaces and also do some secret fixing with steel members and whatnot. I visited board panels up in Melbourne and individually selected the timber veneers, the spotted gum, and then the builder laid them out individually on site, and we sequenced them so they were all joined together. So all the ones with fiddleback in them all had fiddleback on site. So it's quite unique, I think, in the sense of plywood veneers that usually you can see the joins and the sheets, and in this instance there's about 15 metres where you really can't see any joins.
2 metres.
Okay, all right, running forward. So here's some joinery that we had, custom circular joinery units. Leftover plywood, a friend and I made some furniture for the space. Here's the round room, which we had local artist Gerard Black do the stenciling on, and we all coloured and filled it in, which was a great exercise. Here's some team building. Well, this is my favourite slide, so it just shows community coming together and working in the space, even as far as we washed the rocks one by one for the rock garden down the bottom here, which is pretty funny, bucketing water across Geelong. And here's some photos from El Carter of the space, so showing the retail area to the left there and the cafe to the right through the art gallery. We exposed the existing services on the roof and we blacked them out. And the blacking and it's sort of been light level down, but it also makes it seem really expansive. It really works. And just some sightlines through the building. On the right here, we've got the co-working area, and the co-working area on the left again. The conference room with the operable walls, so that just allows that room to be opened up or closed off. And then this was the launch night on the left, the Narramilli team on the right here. And about 4 weeks ago, we've had a few events. There's been a few events in the space already. We had Dan Salton play there, so a sold-out gig. That was a fundraiser for Narramilli. And that was a good feel type of thing. And then every week there's different events planned, whether they're like networking events for businesses, kiddies, the current artist on exhibition there. And I encourage everyone to go and check it out. That's my talk.
Great.